Hey golf fans, today we're talking about a controversial topic that's been making waves in the world of golf. Jordan Spieth, one of the biggest names in the game, has recently spoken out against the new golf ball rules. In this video, we'll explore what these rules are, why Spieth is against them, and what impact they could have on the sport. So, if you're a golf enthusiast who wants to stay up to date with the latest developments in the game, be sure to hit that subscribe button, and let's dive right in. Jordan Spieth shot a 3-under par 69 on Friday at the Arnold Palmer Invitational, owing not only to his good play, but also to his knowledge of the rules of golf. Spieth hit a low double-cross snap hook that careened towards the boundary fence on the left as he teed off on Bay Hill's tough par 4 18th. Probably one of the worst drives I've ever hit, Spieth admitted later. I was trying to play a head-high low draw to keep it from running through, and I got a little steep and dropped kicky with it. I actually hit the ground first. I don't think I've ever done that. When the ball came to rest in the grass just inches from the fence, things got interesting. Because the fence was an out-of-bounds barrier, there was no way to get free of it. Nonetheless, because the ball was so close to the fence, Spieth had a reasonable chance to advance it left-handed. However, doing so would place him on a cart path, from which he would be entitled to relief. Is it permissible under the rules? Yes, according to Rule 16, which states that relief cannot be granted when interference exists solely because you select a club, type of stance or swing, or direction of play that is clearly unreasonable under the circumstances. The left-handed swing was clearly adequate, or, as Spieth explained to Golf Channel after the round, there's that little space between the cart path and out of bounds, and I had no stance to hit it right-handed, but I had enough room to hit a shot left-handed to punch it out of the path and the rough. That would have been a better shot than going for an unplayable. Because I was standing on the cart path, I took left-handed relief on the other side, and from which I'm free to play however I want. I just asked a lot of questions and did what Much said. Jordan Spieth's two-shot at the Hero World Challenge was ruined by a muddled set of rules. Jordan Spieth had good intentions, but his rulebook knowledge was lacking in one crucial area, which cost him a 2-stroke penalty at the Hero World Challenge. The infraction occurred on the 18th hole at Albany, a long par 4 with water down the left. Spieth's drive splits the fairway, putting him near the bottom of the 20-man leaderboard. He then made a very solid approach to around 30 feet. The problem began when he received the green light. Spieth's ball moved on the green by accident, which used to be a one-shot penalty, as Dustin Johnson discovered during the 2016 US Open. However, the rule was changed at the start of 2019. There is no penalty under the new rule as long as the player returns the ball to its original location. The problem for Spieth is that he did not move the ball back. He simply played it from where it had moved. He two-putted from there for a par, but a 2-shot penalty turned out into a double bogey, turning a 73 into a 75. The good news for Spieth is that the difference between 4th and dead last this week is only $50,000, and the difference between 10th and dead last is only $10,000. Spieth couldn't have asked for a better situation to learn his lesson. Jordan Spieth brings wagering ways to Pebble Beach. Jordan Spieth enjoys placing bets on the golf course. Just don't put him in the same league as Phil Mickelson. Tell them about the plaque, Spieth said, prompting a story that demonstrates how the world's #1 golfer recognizes a good bet when he sees one. Spieth, who is competing in this week's AT&T Pebble Beach Pro-Am on the Monterey Peninsula in California, said he's been wagering with friends on the golf course since he was in grade school. His caddy, Michael Greller, and his partner this week, country singer Jake Owen, are among his frequent betting buddies these days. It's just a way to smile and say, "Told you so," said Spieth, who won a PGA Tour record $12 million in tournament winnings last season. Owen, who has a 2 handicap, recounted the story of Spieth's winning gamble at the singer's December charity event in Vero Beach, Florida at Spieth's request. "The shot always has odds no matter where we are on the golf course," Owen began. On that memorable occasion, the pair were about 6 holes into their round, with Spieth positioned in the middle of the fairway off the tee, 98 yards from the hole. There were about 100 people gathered behind them, reminiscent of old Shell's Wonderful World of Golf telecast, where there was no gallery ropes to keep fans at bay. Another 1,000 people were watching from behind the green when Spieth turned to Owen and asked what the odds were that he'd make the shot. Not from close range, mind you, but from nearly the length of a football field away. "Pay up," Spieth says to Owen as the ball is in the air. Owen said he couldn't believe it when the ball hit 3 feet behind the pin, spun back, and landed in the hole. "He looks at me, and I'm like, this doesn't happen with normal people," Owen said, smiling as Spieth sat beside him. "It never happens. So they're creating a plaque. They're gonna put it there." What are Spieth's odds? Undisclosed. So what was the wager amount? But Speith, who had earlier in the round hit a Happy Gilmore-style drive, said the story he got out of it was more valuable. Speith joked that reporters would start calling him Phil after answering a few questions about his gambling habits and urged restraint. Mickelson's money matches during Tuesday practice rounds have become legendary on tour, but he recently chastised a 17-year-old Ryan Ruffles for going on record and claiming he'd take the 42-time PGA Tour winner for $5,000. He's young and he has a lot to learn, Mickelson said of Ruffles. One of them is that you don't talk about certain things. You don't talk about the specifics of what you play for. Despite being only 22 years old, Speith has clearly learned that unwritten rule in his brief professional career. Speith appears to recognize a good bet when he sees one, especially when it's on himself. Golf fans believe Speith is a good bet as well. 2 months before the Masters, this season's first major championship, 11% of betting total at William Hill's 105 US-based sportsbooks is on Speith, the 5-to-1 favorite. And no player has a higher percentage of overall tickets than Speith, who won the Masters at age 22 last year and tied Woods for the lowest score in the event's history. Speith is the 5-to-1 favorite this week in Pebble Beach, where he has finished in the top 10 each of the last 2 years with Owen as his partner. If he could, Speith appears to bet on himself to win this week. "As much fun as we're having in between shots, I'm here to win this golf tournament," said Speith, who finished runner-up in last month's Singapore Open after tying for 5th the week before in Abu Dhabi. "Even better if we can win together. That would be the pinnacle. But I'd rather have a win and us come in second than a win and me come in second." Speith claims to have won the Tour Championship with his head. Jordan Spieth said it was his heart, not his swing, that allowed him to cap off the Player of the Year season by winning the Tour Championship and FedEx Cup playoffs jackpot. "I didn't feel comfortable striking the ball at all today or this week," Spieth told reporters after winning the tournament and earning $10 million for finishing first in the FedEx Cup standings at East Lake. "It was incredible that we competed with how I felt about the ball." Spieth, who is much older than his 22 years, attributed his double victory to his renowned short game, a strong desire to end the season on a high note, and a new mental approach. "My short game was phenomenal this week," said the Texan, who missed 9 greens in Saturday's third round but saved par each time, and bailed himself out with a series of pressure-packed par-saving putts. "We worked a lot on it from Monday morning, getting ready for any kind of position. We played the correct shot, struck them correctly, and hit solid putts. It was amazing." What are your thoughts on this? Let us know in the comments section. If you enjoyed today's video and found it interesting, then make sure to leave us a thumbs up, and do not forget to subscribe to our channel and click on the bell icon to be up to date with the latest content as soon as it's uploaded. Thanks for watching. See you again soon in another video.